Grand Rising Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot E-Magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, comments, the generous donations in all forms, everything. I appreciate it all. We're going to ring the bell. We're going to clear out the energy and we're going to see what the message the Spirit has for us today. You know, somebody, when they made this conscious decision to get on their spiritual journey, to find the truth out there, whatever truth is for them, as they were on that journey, as they're uncovering the truth, they're actually being led back to you. Because as they're uncovering their truth, they're finding out that things that you said, things that you showed, have shown them, things that they watched you experience or they watched you go through, they're now realizing that that was based in truth. Hola, Marcia. As they are following their truth, which is also like following your journey, they're realizing being attached to you brings so many wonderful gifts. This person is surprised that so many gifts are attached to you. Bottom of the deck, we'll start with this one. The Seven of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, somebody is, like I said, they're realizing, how many as they're on that journey, that's starting off new, that's starting off with a passion in the right direction, they're realizing how many gifts surround you. This person, they didn't realize this before until they became on their journey. And that's whenever they saw, that they had to look at life in another direction and how stuck and stagnant they had become in their pursuit of what makes them feel good as opposed to their pursuit of truth. Yeah, like I said, this person is realizing that you have so many wonderful gifts about you. The more you went on your journey, the more your gifts started to come out. People started to recognize, people started to realize. This person is realizing now that the path that they were on, it was like a path to nowhere. Hey, loving is lovely. It's like, they're realizing that they were just one of the crabs in the bucket trying to step on other crabs to get out. Hey, K Hypsee. They weren't actually doing anything different than anyone else was. They were just trying to step on other crabs, but then other crabs were stepping on them. Something about the way that somebody was thinking, like the way that they were picturing something or just thinking about something, wanting, wishing, and I feel like this is the person that is realizing that, that path that they always wanted for themselves. That path that they always wanted for themselves was really connected to you. Something about the way that this person was thinking. Almost like they felt like they had to. It's almost like the way that this person was thinking about where they was trying to fit in before. Yeah, it's almost like this person was confused as to where they would actually fit in before with this group that they was trying to be with. Hey, Robert, how are you? But was this person never really spoke about it. It's almost like they were afraid to speak about something. But I feel like things are turning around for this person, because now this person has decided that it was time for them to speak. It was time for some type of message to come out, because this person has realized how sad they were, how unfulfilled they were on this journey that they were previously on. Now they realized that they needed to get on, they needed some balance in their life. They needed to get on that same path that you were on. It's when we're going through and we don't realize we're going through. That's how you know you're going through. When you don't realize you're going through, you just know that life seems pretty fucked up. Everything seems like it's just kind of crazy. These people seem like they're just acting out. This ain't going right. The job is this and that and the other. The house, the car. Things are just happening. That's when people really need to stop and realize they are actually in the process of going through. This person didn't realize how steady you were while they were going through. I feel like this person, they were looking at you and how you kind of maybe separated yourself from stuff, from them going through, from their drama, from their trauma that was in their life. It's almost like you had to separate yourself from that in order for this person to understand where they were actively at. And like I said, it was like when they decided that they needed to get on their journey, because they realized where they were actively at, and they started going through their spiritual journey, and it led back to you. This person was surprised at what you bring, what you have, how many gifts you have. And it could be something different than just a gift of sight. You could be clairaudient, you could be clairvoyant, you could all the different clairs. You could be somewhat, psychic. You could be, really into energy. You could be able to read the stars. You could be able to read the energy in the room. It's almost like somebody's realizing how gifted you really are, how many gifts you actually have, how strong you actually are, how connected you are. But yet this person didn't want to see that before. It's like they did not want to see it. They didn't want to recognize it, almost because they were told, like somebody was told that it was bad. But now they see that it's good. The fact that you struck out on your own, and how powerful you've become on your own. Like you weren't afraid to follow the call. Somebody is expecting some goodness to come in, because like I said, as they are on their spiritual path, the further they get, the more that they see that comes in is a blessing. And not only is it the more they see that comes in as a blessing, the more this person is realizing that they actually, it's okay for them to put up boundaries against somebody that may be trying to control their life or or something, or it's okay that they don't have to respond right away to something that's being said, or even respond or even agree to some fuck shit that's being said. This is where this person is realizing that they was young before, young and immature in the past. Whenever somebody would tell them to do something, they would jump up, be that I'm on the ready. I'm going for it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. But now somebody realizes that they don't have to do that. That somebody can give them a quote unquote directive and they not act on it. Somebody can tell them that they quote unquote feel a certain way that they not have to agree. Somebody is realizing that, they've been following this same message from time to time. I mean, for a long time, where somebody's been telling them to do something. And for a long time, they've been acting out or acting it out or following somebody's command. And that's whenever somebody had to look up and realize they were not happy in their life or in their existence or where they were going or their life or how it was being led. That's when somebody realized it was time for them to get on their spiritual journey, because they finally had to wake up and realize you weren't being weird. You weren't being crazy. You were on your spiritual journey, And so, therefore, now this person is realizing that everything that's been uncovered, that, that they're realizing that there was a lot that they did not see. There was a lot they didn't want to recognize because they were told it was bad. But there's a lot that this was not bad, especially whenever it comes to you. See, that King of Cups is holding 2 cups, but he's got these 6 cups up here, and he's thinking about, the past, the decisions that he's made with his Queen of Cups in the past. And, now he's got that look on his face like, damn, I done fucked up and everything else. But not you. You look like, you knew what you was doing. You did. And you still do. This person is realizing that you saw both sides of the situation. Both sides of the situation. You saw the good, the bad, and the ugly. All 3 sides. It was this person that's now waking up, realizing that they had to get on their journey. Like I said, this person is surprised how many gifts you actually have. Something about things that this person did not tell you, things they didn't share with you. I feel like this is kind of what's holding this person up. This is what makes this person feel stuck. Because it was things that they should have shared with you that they chose not to say. And now this person is in this position where, they have all the love in the world for you. But like I said, this person is feeling a certain way because they held back from you. Even though in the end, come to find out, you were speaking truth. This person should have spoke some truth too. That's why that, it's sad whenever this person, now that they're wanting to approach you because they're being led back to you, but it's like not knowing what to say, or feeling like if they did say something to you that it would be met with deaf ears. That there's no more left to say. Like, you just don't even want to deal with this person anymore, because now you seeing that what they was working on before was some fuck shit. Working on starting problems, working on continuing this chaos, the chaos that they were living in, the chaos that they weren't living in, that chaos they were trying to survive in. This person now sees that, they couldn't see that somebody was misleading them. It's almost like, that they couldn't see that somebody was misleading them, even though you were the one that was, connected. You were the one that was telling them the truth. You were the one that could see things that was happening. But yet this person made a decision. It's almost like they made a decision that they wanted to learn a lesson, a hard lesson at that. And the lesson that they learned, because they started watching you. The lesson that they learned was that the further you got, the further you went, the further you was on your path, the more success you found or was blessed upon you. It's like the further you became, almost like things started turning in your favor. People started speaking up very highly about you. People started talking about, how you were able to defend yourself, how you knew the right way to go, how you was doing the right thing. That's when this person started realizing that it was this relationship, and this could have been, that this relationship, this very important relationship with you. I feel like y'all are connected, whether y'all are family, in the same club, in the same something. And this person is now realizing that somebody else had lied to them about you. They had lied to them about you. And it could have been more than one person. We got the king in reverse, a king of wands in reverse. We got the ace of swords, and we got the queen of wands. I feel like somebody lied to them about you, making it seem like you was some sort of loose goose on the street, or some sort of person that doesn't think clearly, but it was really them. Yeah, because a decision had been made. Judgment is here. Judgment is here while you went and tracked went on by yourself through the woods. That's when somebody had to realize that they were playing with the devil, that the devil is a lie. When the devil, the tower, and the seven of swords, that's when somebody had to realize that the devil is a lie. That, I feel like that was the catalyst that made them want to get on their path. Yep. Because as they got on their path, that's whenever they got closer to you. That's when they started going in the same direction that you were going. That's when they were being led back to you. This person is now in their head a lot with the nine of swords. That part where you can't eat, can't sleep, or you're eating, but you're eating and your sleep is kind of messed up. So you may be having stomach issues, this, that, and the other. Because now this person is realizing that, I feel like they have an opportunity to heal themselves, or to have some type of healing. And it has to do with their spiritual walk with the Hierophant. Yeah, it's like this person, if they want to be healed, they have to heal themselves from the inside out. Now somebody is thinking about that equal give and take. Now that they're thinking about how you put in, or how you gave to them, how you provided something that was a wonderful opportunity for them. But this person is realizing now too that, something about them, having to do with their journey, them realizing they have all the tools that they need. And it's not so much of allowing somebody to control what they're thinking or how they're feeling. It's almost like somebody decided that Like somebody finally picked up the good book, the Bible, and started reading, trying to figure out the truth. They're trying to figure out the truth. Somebody finally picked up the Bible, started reading something, and the more they were reading, the more they were realizing that certain things resonate while you're going through them. And they started realizing, and they started allowing their mind to expand and think about, okay, well, who fits this description and what fits this description? And then that's when they're realizing something about this Queen of Wands, or this truth about this Queen of Wands. They're either realizing the truth about what somebody said about you, or what somebody said about somebody else. And it's almost like it's coming out, and it's the way that it's affecting this person. When you find something out and it kind of blows your mind a little bit, but you're trying to keep it together because you don't want all these other people to see, that you like, oh my God. Hey, Feral Wolf Dog, Native American, how are you? What's the message, Spirit? What is the message? Thank you. Ooh. Yeah, somebody wants to come and they want to talk to you. They want to heal this whole situation. They want to put everything that happened in the past to end. They want to start over with you. They want to heal this situation and end whatever else was going on. Yeah. Yeah, because this person is watching you. And they just see, you represent like peace. You represent calm, confirmation, peace, calm, serenity. Confirmation if you hear my stomach, KIV. Yep. Here she goes. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Thank you. Yep. And you're protecting yourself. I feel like this person is starting to protect themselves. They're starting to wake up and realize that they have to protect themselves, that they have to have that discernment of spirits, of energy of other people, how they plan on what they're trying to do. Are they really trying to be there? Or are they really trying to slyly attack? What are they really trying to do? Yeah, because see, before somebody they didn't exercise their spiritual gifts that they have. It's like they came to doubt that they had these things, and whenever they could move forward, whenever somebody could have made a proper plan to move forward, to set something in motion, they held back. And instead of them sitting here believing that God was the one that was in control, somebody thought that somebody else was in control. Somebody else had that fire. But there was nobody else that had that fire. Like I said, this is somebody who's now realizing that, they have to go on this journey by themselves. They have to take that lone spiritual walk in order to reach the truth. Hey, Saida. Hey, Susan. In order for them to reach the truth. I know, that's right, KIV. Yes, I'm going to be eating after this. What's the message, Spirit? I had ordered some baked mustacholi from Rosati's yesterday. Oh, I ate some of it. I didn't want to eat all of it because I said I'm going to save the rest of it for today. Yeah, somebody had to make a decision. They finally made a decision. because they realized that they couldn't see everything that was happening in the dark. They didn't know as much as they thought that they knew what was going on. And that caused that whole tower, that caused them their whole life to feel like it's falling apart. Like I said, this person is looking so sad because instead of them making that decision about the relationship that they wanted to make, they're thinking about their relationship from the past. Instead of them making the decision that they wanted to make, they sat there and listened to this person make the decision about the relationship that didn't even affect this person wasn't there even involved. Like I said, somebody's realizing that they don't have to listen to, abide by, obey, or co-sign, or even speak, or do none of that. When somebody was telling them to do something, to act a certain way, to don't you agree, and blah 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 blah, blah, let's say this, that somebody realizes that they didn't have to do none of that. That they would have been stronger, they would have been wiser, just going off on their own direction, saying that no, I'm gonna make my own decision. That's when showing strength. That's when somebody would have had victory throughout this entire time, by showing strength to say, no, this is who I love. The Queen of Pentacles, that's who I want to be with. That's who I'm going to be with. Because then they would have been happy within that union. But it's okay, because somebody, like I said, they had to make a different decision. They had to make a choice. They had to choose wisely. They had to go back to the crossroads and choose wisely. What else, Spirit? Oregano's. Have I eaten at oregano's? I don't think so. I heard that they were good though. Yeah, somebody is realizing when they look at where they came from, what they was doing, what they was going through, when they finally open up their eyes to their own life, when they finally realize they can make their own decisions, when they finally realize they're writing their own book of how they want their life to go and what they want people to remember about them. Nowhere in their book does it say, I wanted to be the person that followed everybody. I wanted to be a born follower. I didn't want to make my own decisions. I didn't want to, there's nowhere that it says how upset or how unhappy that this person wanted to be. It only talked about strength. It only talked about happiness. It only talked about joy. It only talked about loyalty. It only talked about the good things that this person could see for themselves. But this person finally had to wake up and recognize and realize their life was in a shambles. And that's why they had to do something different. That's why they had to get on that spiritual path. That's why this person had to start using discernment with everybody. With everybody. And anybody that tried to put them in a feeling of lack, anybody that tried to put them in a situation where they felt like they didn't measure up or whatever it was, anybody that tried to do that, they met a door. Maybe not a physical door, but an emotional door. And it seemed like that door was closed. Hey, Cleo, how are you, sweetie? It's like, yeah, no longer does somebody else get to dictate. No longer does somebody else get to dictate what you do in your life, how you do it, because that's just chaos. That's confusion with the 5 of Wands all day long. No longer does somebody else get to control how you're thinking, how you're acting, what you're saying, how you're moving, how you're pooping. Nobody gets to control that no more. Except for you. What's the message? What else, Spirit? See, this person is this person is really thinking about this. You know how they should have just like told somebody else, hey, yeah, well, I'll take it into consideration, but this ain't your life, or I don't know what they could have said, should have said, would have said, but didn't say. But this person is thinking about that. Who's the one who was actually bringing the chaos and the tower in their life? Who was actually sitting back saying shit, sitting back watching shit? You know, somebody had to really go within. They had to find them. They had to find themselves. They really had to go within. They had to realize that they were being cursed, that they were being toyed with, they were being played with by somebody who was trying to control a whole situation here. They're realizing that person was trying to control a situation with you. Yeah. This is the same person that they realize they need to put up boundaries here, because they're thinking about everything in the past. Everything they could have had something in the past, but instead, this person is experiencing this from listening to somebody who is a fucked up individual. This King of Wands thinks that they can just go around doing whatever, acting however, causing whatever. They don't care. They don't care. But see, they didn't realize that whenever it came to you and your heart and how you feel and what you were going through, when it came to that, this person was going to experience some for real grief just by fucking around with you, trying to fuck you over. And I don't feel like this is the same person that's on their spiritual path. I feel like that person is coming out of the muck and mire. I'm talking about the person who caused the shit. The one who caused the shit. The one who threw that first stone. The one who was saying, this is what we need to do to collective. Because, you know, this is the same person that was sitting here trying to purposely fuck somebody else shit up. Damn, confirmation if you heard that phone. And that was outside. This is the same person who kept trying to perpetuate some type of curse, generational curse. Hey, Paul, how are you? What's the message? Yep. This could have been somebody with a, you know, like a one of those relationships, a family member relationship. Something. Could have been a family member that was doing all this. And somebody else realized that, you know what? Yeah, that person is always going to be my uncle. That person is always going to be my aunt. That person's always going to be my parent, my grandparent, my this, that. They're always going to be that. But you know what? They're not going to be doing. They're not going to be telling me how to live my life anymore. This person realized that it's time for them to grow up. It's past time for them to just have that. Okay, well, I'm young. You know, it's almost like this person had to realize that they may be a child to somebody. They may be somebody's child, but that don't mean that they are a child. That could be an adult child. Yeah, because this King of Wands, this warlock, is the one who, you know, was having things turn around, and not necessarily in a good way. And this person couldn't see this for a long time. You know, they felt like they needed to invest with this person. They felt like they needed to chime in, or this person said to add to this, and they felt like they needed to do that. What's the message, Spirit? Something about somebody's spirit, intuition. Something about somebody's intuition and moving forward. What else, Spirit? Anything else from this deck? Anything else from this deck? That Seven of Pentacles keeps wanting to come out. We're going to pull another deck. That Seven of Pentacles keeps wanting to come out. Bottom of the deck, the Empress. And the Page of Wands and the Emperor. This could be about a child and their parents. Seriously. It could be about a child and two parents. You know. And then this somebody who's very intuitive. The High Priestess and the Queen of Cups. This person is very intuitive. And you know what? And this could be about some children too. Because we got two pages, a page of swords, a page of pentacles, and then the Wheel of Fortune. This almost feels like this is about these parents, and this is one of the children. And then you also have somebody who's very intuitive. And then you also have two others, a Page of Swords and a Page of Pentacles, like some other children. But it's almost like the way that they grew up. Yeah, the way that they grew up with the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. They didn't grow up in no loving family. These parents had these kids, and they did not grow up in no loving family. You know, at least a couple of the siblings didn't. A few of the siblings didn't. Maybe one. Yeah, because one of them, you know, it's almost like somebody, the dad could have been wanting to be a player. Like it was a warlock walker. Wanting to be a player. And did not provide any type of love to this family at all whatsoever. Love was not being served at the table. In fact, these kids felt like that. They felt scared, like they was trapped. You know, it's almost like now, you know, the kids are I don't know. I heard scattered. Everybody's scattered. Everybody's scattered, and everybody thinking that they got to protect themselves. But now somebody's looking at the truth. I feel like this is the person who, you know, could have, like I said, could have been these parents. They're looking at the truth, and now they are so ashamed. They regret everything that they did. They can't sleep. They can't eat because they know that it's too late to change the shit. Once you have these little kids and they grow up, and then they adults and they realize some shit in an adult life, it's too late to go back and say, okay, we're going to change it. You can apologize all you want to apologize, but it's too late to change the shit. Somebody is moving forward with their life. They felt like they had an opportunity to move forward, to travel, to have the life that they want, and that person is doing it. And let me tell you something, that person is getting all their dreams come true, their wishes fulfilled. We got the Six of Wands and the Star card. Somebody else, I feel like, is being burdened. Somebody else is being burdened because somebody else, you know, because somebody had told the truth and they spoke their truth. This is one of the children that, you know, very intuitive. That's one of the children that's just an adult. Spoke their truth. It could be an earth angel. Hey, Imani. And now this could have been the father figure is thinking about, how he did that, the earth angel, how somebody was raised up. And isn't that funny how when our parents are raising us or people are raising their children and they do the most fucked up shit to the kids, and then whenever the kids are sitting here, they're adults or they're growing up and they get into trouble or something, and then there's some same fucked up parents be the ones to say, I taught you better than that. No, you didn't. You taught me exactly that. Hey, stubborn warrior 777. You taught me exactly that. You didn't teach me better than that. What are you talking about? Who are you? Who do you think you was? Confirmation. Confirmation. Like I said, this was a family with some siblings and a family and these siblings, and there was at least one sibling, this one, that felt like they deserved more because they possibly received more growing up. And then the other ones, they had to survive on their own. You get in where you can fit in. Yeah. They were the others, these parents held back from them. They held back from them and they gave it to the one. And that one that just felt like, I am the cat's meow. Hey, straight cheese. Yep. And this is how the other one, was as a child. Oh gosh, that one was a headache. We'll say a headache as a child. Spoiled, the one that could never do any wrong, but you couldn't point out if they did do any wrong because then you get in trouble. Yeah. And then somebody else here, was always blamed for something. This is the one who always had to protect themselves. This is the one that was always, somebody could emotionally dump on that person and they had to accept it. Yeah, somebody and people didn't realize what it was like living in that household. See, people on the outside thought it looked good, but they didn't realize what trash it was living inside the home. How much confusion, how much hate, how much division. Can't make this up. How much division there was inside that damn home. Yeah, everybody thought it was all good. There was nothing. There was no love being served at the table. None. None. And then it was like this same couple that was sitting here bad mouthing somebody, bad mouthing somebody, not realize bad mouth could have been bad mouthing you, talking about how you didn't deserve. Anybody that try and say anything positive about you, they didn't want that to happen. They didn't want people to speak positive about you. They didn't want nobody to see you for who you are. So you know what? It's almost like this person had to find the strength to go within. They had to find themselves. And yes, they did. And they took control of their own life. They took control of their own life. Hey, Tia, how are you? Yes, indeed. Yeah, somebody. Ooh, so this may be talking about I felt like there was like one golden child, Can't make this up. The golden child. Thought that they shit this did not stink. Thought that they shit didn't stink. And would lie on everybody just so they could get their way. Would lie. Oh my, would they lie? Just so they could get their way. What else, Spirit? Hey, Malcolm, how are you? Just so they could get their way. Yep. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? But see, something is happening now. Now, somebody's going through karma. That same person is going through karma right now. Now that person want to apologize. They want to give some little apology because they think that if I apologize, that's going to save me from the karma that I'm experiencing. I'm telling you, this person is experiencing some karma. Because you know what? When you were a child and you think, oh, I'm the golden child, I get whatever I want. You're a child. But when you grow up to be an adult, it's no longer cool for you to be like, I'm the golden child, I get whatever I want. Whatever I want. That's not cool. That's acting like an old ass fool. Somebody's getting some serious karma, and they want to apologize to you because they feel like that's the only way for them to be able to defend themselves against this. But they can't. They know that they did too much. They did too much. And they know that they got themselves fucked up like that because you actually had to defend yourself against them. That's why they can't sleep. That's why they can't sleep, because the truth came out about what this motherfucker was doing. The truth is out about who somebody truly is. And it's time for them to learn this lesson. That's why somebody else is being guided away. This person that's on their spiritual path, they're on that spiritual path. They're being guided away so somebody else can learn the lesson. You know how they said that song, Pass It On. Pass it on. When you started it, you got the gift. You got the lesson. You was on your spiritual journey, and you didn't pass that on to somebody who's starting on their spiritual journey. And what they're doing is they cutting other people off, so that when they cut them other people off, they passing that on so somebody else can get on their journey. Pass it on. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah. Somebody thought they was getting ready to make some moves. They ain't moving nowhere. They having to deal with this. That same golden child. I'm telling you, the same golden child from yesterday has to pay for it today. Now that same golden child thinking about how they worked on this and that and the other and blah blah blah, and how you had to protect yourself and everything, and now they're confused. Like now because they didn't see what was coming for them around the mountain, around the bend. They didn't see all that fuck shit that they was doing to you was going to hurt them. They sitting here trying to come up after you, trying to cause chaos for you. They didn't know how it was going to come back on them. The lies, that came back around. Came back around. Anything that this person is trying to do is not working out good for them. It ain't working out at all. Exactly, Tia. Me too. Yep. See, something about somebody, the mother, either the mother walked away, something. Maybe the mother had to leave. And now somebody's realizing that this is who they was. You know, this is who they was. That Five of Cups, Five of Swords. That's what they were about. That's what they brought to the table. Regret and fuck shit. They're realizing that confirmation. That when somebody left, maybe somebody's mother finally told them the truth of how they actually act. Hey, Letitia, how are you? You know, whenever somebody finally tells you how you act and you don't believe it, but then you have to realize, you have to face it. That's when you go, oh my gosh, I was like that. I was a monster. Yep. Something about, and you was always a child that was always very spiritual and very inquisitive. You was the one that was always led to do the right thing, always led to live a righteous life, always led to treat people right, always led to treat animals right, always led to do unto others as you want people to do unto you. That was you. Very spiritual as a child. And somebody else is thinking about this person is being going down their own spiritual path, is now sitting here thinking about this, realizing that whatever they've been invested in has not worked out. It's time for them to stop going down the wrong road and for them to get on the spiritual path and go down their right road. Almost like somebody's learning the lesson. They're finally hearing the story of what it was for you, and they're finally hearing the truth of the story about what it was like for you. And now this person is like, yeah, I don't want to do all that no more. I'm done with all that. Yeah, this emperor is finally talking about, and maybe this emperor is older and finally talking about, the trials, the tribulations, what somebody else had to go through, the how somebody else, had this whole all this pressure, all this stress, all this overwhelming, such an overwhelming life in such a not a good way, in a negative way. The truth is finally coming out. The truth is finally being spoken, y'all, about what somebody did. The truth is finally coming out. People is getting to be at that age where they know they got to speak their truth. This is the age of Aquarius where somebody know it. As much fuck shit as I did, I got to put it out there. Like I said, somebody's going through their spiritual journey, and what they're doing is they're cutting other people off, and those other people that are being cut off know that it's time for them to get right too. Because you can only go down that road of lies for so fucking long. Yeah, somebody is finally waking the fuck up. They're not missing it no more. They decided it's time for them to take leap of faith and go down this road by themselves. Go on. Because they said, you know what, that they're tired of trying to be around this warlock that ain't showing nobody no love. Ain't showing no love, ain't showing no respect. None of it. This whole family. It was a curse on this family. And somebody's realizing that, you was the one that was strong enough to tell the truth. And the truth about how you had to protect yourself and survive against this mother. This the same mother that used to cause problems in your life, get people to work against you. This the same mother that pitted this child against you. What else, Spirit? Yep, that truth. That truth is setting somebody free. Somebody's realizing the truth was the only thing that they needed to concentrate on. Since then, somebody's been going towards this opportunity that they are not going to give up at all. They are feeling, that they are about to be victorious, and they want to heal this relationship with you. They see you for who you are. You are an indigo child. You are that healer. You are that shining star, and they can't take this away from you. Somebody wants to come and they want to speak to you. They want to tell you about, how somebody else was doing all this shit to kind of get them stuck in a certain situation. How this had been going on for a long time. Somebody had been perpetuating this for forever. What else, Spirit? Anything else? Yep. That's all this person cares about is moving forward. I'm hearing that song. That it was like a Christmas song. Put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking through that door. That's the song I'm hearing. Y'all know I can't sing. But yeah, see, somebody's realizing that they, in the past, they did so much trying to make sure that somebody else had, or for them trying to be the golden child, that they was willing to do this at all costs, where they got more, somebody got more, and you got a hell of a lot less. They didn't care about all that in the past. But now judgment has been called. Things that have been said, lies, mistruths, all of that, the things that have been done, all of that is coming out. Judgment has been called in your favor. Yes. And you were the one who's chosen, is shown to be the chosen one. Anything else, Spirit? I got to get ready to clock in and do my work. Hey, little girl. What's the message, Spirit? Yep. And something about this person was, I feel like, misrepresented, because this person is the same person that would go and say, I saw Collective do this. I saw Collective do that. And Collective did this and Collective did that. And that person, that child is being seen as a liar. A liar, a liar, a liar. This is the same one who tried to curse you so much that your character was in question. Like I said, you went through your own spiritual journey, your own spiritual ascension. And now you're kind of holding back. You learned your lessons. You're holding back. And now it's somebody else, that sibling, that the wheel of fortune is turning out of their favor. And it's that sibling that's out in the cold. It's that sibling that is having that earth-shattering moment, realizing that, you know what, the best thing that they could have had from you was your love. But the fact that, you know what, you feel like you have to protect yourself against this person, and now this person is stuck in some type of situation, and they need some help. Right now, this person needs some help, and they don't know who to turn to. And we don't know who to tell them to turn to either. But we do know to say, don't turn around here. Don't turn around looking around here. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and swing the pendulum. All right, let's swing the pendulum. And the answer is yes. Yep, the answer is yes. All right, y'all. K Hypsee said, I thought I just heard the choir singers. You may have. All right. I love y'all. I got to get off of here, do my straight 8. Thank you so very much. I appreciate each and every one of you, especially the comments, especially the generous donations in all forms, everything. I love you all. I will see you all, and everyone have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day.